do other animals have the capacity to suffer equally and desire freedom the way humans do?
Yes, for both questions.
How come?
Well, you see them. You see them when they're off the leash, how happy they are, and you can tell when the dog is sad. You can, by looking at the dog itself, his eyes will tell you.
Absolutely, I would say yes. I love animals, and I've had animals my whole life, and obviously they feel pain, that's proven. And do they desire freedom? Sure. I think the more time you spend around animals, you see their capacity and abilities to, I don't know, just want more, and their personalities develop if you give them like love and freedom. So I just think, yeah, it's so important. And I was just in Pemberton at this beer farm, and they had these lovely pigs in a pen, and they, you know, I was just so thankful they weren't in a crate. And they're smart animals.
Yeah, I do. I think even silverfish, you know, they suffer.
Oh, that's a very complicated question.
Yeah.
It's
like, do you think like a cow or a pig or a woman or a child suffer equally if they're hurt, or if they're, let's say, like in the animal agriculture industry, that they desire to be free the same as like a person would be in that situation?
Well, I think there's this probably the same amount of like physical or like physiological suffering to pain and stress, but I think humans maybe put more suffering on themselves by thinking about it.
I think they do, but I think in a different possible capacity. Like, I know him, he's a Weimaraner, and he, like the rest of his breed, has a lot of separation anxiety, so his freedom to him, I think, is like basically join me every step of the way of my day, even in the bathroom. So his freedom seems to be a little bit different than, like, I can't imagine myself wanting to do that with everybody. So
or a wild wolf.
Yeah, exactly.
Wanting to be indoors. I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah, so,
very cool.
And maybe domesticated animals are a little bit different than wild, but yeah, it's a good question. But I think everyone does, but to different degrees. Yeah.
Well, they certainly have the capacity to suffer. I think some desire freedom, and some are happy where they're at. And I think it's the same thing for humans.
Do you mind me asking why?
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, because I think they love who they're with.
Of course they do. They have a brain, they have feelings, they're creatures. Of course they suffer or have desires.
Big or small, we all have an equal value. We all have an equal capacity to suffer and desire for freedom. There are birds that make songs that we cannot hear. Animals like the peacock mantis shrimp or octopi that display colors that we will never be able to see, or feel the magnetic pull of the earth to navigate. Animals have intelligence that is far more different than us in some ways, and exactly the same in others. For all we know, they may have feelings and emotions that we don't even have. Let's just give them the benefit of the doubt and treat everyone equally, no matter how big or small.